Spado, the accidental gangster, for those of you who don't know. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I am not a political scientist, as they call them, and I don't try to be, okay? I try to distinguish between right and wrong. And the information and the things that I say are my beliefs. Some of you might disagree. And those who disagree, I hope that you can agree to disagree. Good morning, Mandy. How are you? Great to see you, kid. Let's see, look, it's a slow Monday, I guess. Okay, people are probably watching their televisions because what's going on in Iran, Israel, Lebanon, and the Port of Hormuz is a minute by minute thing. And let's talk about that, folks. I don't know who President Trump, I don't know who President Trump is listening to, but he's definitely getting wrong advice if he's listening to anybody. My beliefs, he's listening to Bibi Netanyahu. Okay? That's just my feelings. Why are we even involved here? We should not be involved in this war. And most Americans agree with me. Take random out of there, Mandy. Block them from all shows, okay? I don't want people like that there. I like these punks to come in, okay? Don't let me deal with that there, okay? Uh, People can't be respectful. Get that, just throw them right out and block them from seeing me, okay? Uh, Getting back to this war, folks. Now Trump has sent our navies to block the port of UMass, so no ships can go through there. This is not just affecting the United States, it's affecting the entire world. Trump is not looking good with other countries. They don't like what he's doing. And I don't like what he's doing. He doesn't realize, yes, he destroyed their army, not their army, he destroyed their navy and their air force. But they're still there. He didn't destroy them totally. But yet, the Iranians have so many drones, it's unbelievable. And I just hope this does not get to be that his Trump's next step is to send in our troops on land. If he does that there, folks, the Iranians are going to kill a lot of our people. It will not make a difference who wins the war, the Iranians or the United States. And you know, this is all because of Israel. It's all because of Israel. I don't see Israel sending in ground troops. Okay, yeah, Israel is fighting Lebanon. They're bombing the hell out of Lebanon. People want to put me down because I put Trump down for what he said to the Pope today. Okay, but I don't know what's going to happen. Is Iran going to send its drones to some of these ships and kill some of our Navy people? I don't know. None of us know. But he's a wild man. And then I'm going to reiterate again, I voted for him. Because like everybody else that voted for him, and like everybody who feels the same that I do, he hasn't done anything that he said he would do. Oh yeah, he got rid of the immigrants. He did a fairly decent job, but he even screwed that up. But I'm going to blame that on Stephen Miller. All right, his buddy that they're glued to the hip for some reason. All right. Look, I'm going to ask you to subscribe, like. All right, please hit that like button. Okay. Do something. Try to help me out here because I take my time to come here and give you this information. Let's talk about what happens. All right. Oh, let's talk about Peter Hegbert. You ever hear the saying, dry drunk? Okay, Peter Hegbert is the head of the Department of War. Department of War it is right now. Next president, I guarantee you, to become this Department of Defense again. Okay? And let's remember, on September 5th, 2025, President Trump signed Executive Order 14347, which authorizes the Department of Defense to be known as the Department of War. That's September. September, October, November, December. 8 months ago. 8 months ago. That tells you how long he wants to be in this war. Okay? That tells you how much he wanted war. Okay? It should be the Department of Defense. The order specifically enabled the Department of Defense and Secretary of Defense, all right, to use Department of War and Secretary of War in official correspondence, public communication, and ceremonial context. The legal statutory name remains Department of Defense. The legal, so it's still the Department of Defense. He cannot change that, I believe, without Congress voting it in. But I use that date. Trump's wanted this war. Look at how many times Bibi Netanyahu has visited him. And we don't know how many phone calls they have. But Bibi Netanyahu has got some dirt on Trump. And I will guarantee you it's about the Epstein files. Bibi knows stuff about Trump that a lot of us don't know yet. But that's another time for another subject for another time. Before I get to the poll, folks, okay? I said I want to talk about Peter Hegbert, okay? And keep hitting that like button, all right? Help me out. Peter Hegbert served in the Army National Guard and reached the rank of major. That's the highest rank that he reached. But on the military standing, the highest rank, you know, is a 5-star general. There goes a 4, 3, 2, 1 star. Then below that, you have a full-bird colonel. And then below that, you have a lieutenant colonel. Okay. He was only a major. All right? In the Army National Guard. The Army National Guard. Okay? There's a big difference, folks. You got to listen. You got to know. All right? He was an infantry platoon leader, civil military operations officer, and counterinsurgency instructor. He did win 2 Bronze Stars and a Combat Infantryman badge. Okay? That is not the qualifications for somebody to be ahead of the Department of Defense. Trump has him there for only one reason. All right? Peter Hagvis don't tell Trump what's going on or tell Trump what to do. He's only a yes man to Trump. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? It's like you don't have somebody in charge of the Department of Defense. And you see the way he talks. And when I use that word dry drunk, okay, we know everybody knows he was an alcoholic. Okay, he's had his problem. I hope that he did clean that up. Supposedly he has. But I've been around alcoholics and addicts. And the worst thing that could happen sometimes, these alcoholics, they're bad, bad, bad. But when they become, some of them become what we call a dry drunk. And it's worse. So we'll see. Now, what Pope, I listened to what the Pope said. Okay? Now look, folks, we should not be having religion and politics intermingling. It should not. Executive strategist, World Trump. Mm, mm. Free Nancy Guthrie. Who knows where she's at, huh? But let's go back to Pope Leo. All right, I've heard many popes, past popes, say they want world peace. They want everybody to get along. Okay, that's what they're about. There's nothing wrong. I didn't see anything wrong with what the Pope said. He did not degrade Donald Trump. Okay, he said he doesn't like what Trump's doing, but I didn't see him say that Trump is an idiot. He's a fat, got the fattest ass in the world, Trump does. Okay. Uh, he didn't say nothing like that. But Trump went after him and called him names, said things, and look at that picture or whatever you want to call it. All right. They're showing it now on the TV again. Okay. A Trump, all right, with a red robe around like he's Jazu Greece. And I believe that he really thinks he is Jazu Greece. All right. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy's a great supporter, all right? Thank you so much for being here, okay? And folks, please subscribe, like, and share. Come on, let's build my channel up here. I don't want a million followers. I don't, or subscribers, all right? Yeah, Trump thinks his, I'm looking for 25,000, okay? So I'm more than halfway there. Well, I'm at almost going towards 17 now. So I only want 25 respectful subscribers to my channel. I'm not looking to make $1 million here or anything. I don't care if I make money or not. It doesn't make a difference to me. All right? You're right, Heather. I just said that. All right? Uh, Thank you. I'm so high. Are you high? What a name you got there. Thank you, Mama, for subscribing. Okay, and let's keep hitting that like button, folks. Okay. Now, no war is any good. No war. It does not make a difference who wins or who loses this war in Iran. one thing that I think, and I'm seeing this here, is I'm very familiar with the Vietnam War and how we began there. It's all the same thing, same scenario, okay? It's not much difference. And what happens if Trump sends in ground troops? We're going to lose a lot of soldiers. Yeah, we might win at the end of the day. And when will this war end? I don't even know. I doubt if Trump, if this, if this don't stop quickly, it will not stop, and it'll probably be ended by our next president. Folks, that's over 2 years away. Over 2 years away. Let's talk about, okay, he didn't destroy their army or their IGIF. Okay, he didn't destroy that. And they have been training for 25 years for a land war. A land war meaning troops battling each other. And the Iranian army is called Artish. I think I say it right. All right? First, know the geography and infrastructure of Iran's vast size and mountainous topography present extreme challenges for any invading force. The military has built extensive missile cities and production facilities deep underground beyond the reach of conventional heavy bombing. You see what they have done in Iran? They're prepared. All right? The Arctic is specifically structured for territorial defense rather than offensive operations. Its command structure is decentralized, meaning individual provinces had the authority to act independently if central headquarters are disabled. So he could destroy their central headquarters, but all the other provinces still operate, meaning it don't end. I thank you folks for subscribing. I thank you all right, for hitting that like button, okay? I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Iranian endurance strategy. Iranian officials have publicly stated they are prepared for a long war of attrition on their own soil. The strategy aims. That's their aim. They're ready for us. This should be like Vietnam, as I told you before. Vietnam built the tunnel, they had the caves. Well, now you're talking about different topography. You're talking very mountainous. They got the things buried so deep that heavy bombing is not going to destroy it. Okay? And each province could act independently if central headquarters gets destroyed. So, looking for a lot more people being killed. I'm sure they'll drop more bombs. Look at how many children we had killed in the schoolhouses. Okay? Oh, Trump don't want to talk about that, does he? Okay? Folks, it's not I got hatred for Trump. I don't. I don't have hatred for anybody. All right? I don't like what he's doing. All right? He's done nothing about our grocery prices. Not a thing. Everything's going up in price, folks. Have you looked? Okay. We got a gas station here. Gas is close to $8 a gallon here in California. That's double what it is across the rest of the nation. Okay? All right, that's a California problem. All right? You're from Istanbul. The last time? Well, you could certainly be telling us a lot of stuff. Yeah, Newscomb, he screwed up the state and he wants to run. Okay? And look at what happened. Look at Eric Swalwell. Another another politician. Molestation charges. All right? Not one girl, several girls. All right? He just had to get himself out of the race for governor, but he should resign as congressman and get the hell out of there. Gary Woolton, wait till Trump's son becomes president. I love that there because you know what? You notice that Trump has not selected J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or who he wants to replace him. And I thought the same thing that you just wrote. He wants one of his sons to become president. $9 for ground pound? Yeah. $9? Boy, you got a good break, Heather. Okay? You got a good break. $9 a pound for ground beef. It's higher here. I don't think maybe Barron. Barron's got other plans, I think. Remember, Barron is the son of Melania. Okay? Trump's other children are, who was their wife? I think she passed away. Ivanka, was that her name? I can't remember. Okay? Because I really care less, okay? But I doubt the Republican Party, and it's getting to be more the Republican Party now than more than MAGA. Okay? Kevin says I'm a sick old man. Goodbye, Kevin. Alright? Get rid of him too, Mandy. I'm not fucking around, folks. Okay? You can't be respectful. Get out of here. Alright? Folks, come on. Let's hit that like button. Alright? We should be at over 100 now. Okay? You can hit that like button. It don't cost you a nickel. Alright? And hit that subscribe button. If I could take the time at 81 years old to come here, alright, and talk to you, alright, I'm sure you could take not even a second to hit that subscribe and like. You like my pink shirt, huh? What's my telecom's asking me what's my stand on Iran? I've been talking about it, okay? No, I am not MAGA. I would not be a MAGA. I would not be a Republican. I would not be a Democrat. I tell you all the time. I'm no party affiliate. I vote for who I think I feel is the most honest, capable, and will do what they say. I made a big mistake. I voted for Donald Trump. Okay? Do I think Trump avish? Absolutely. This is all on Israel. Okay? You got to remember the Mossad is probably one of the best intelligence agencies on earth. The next one after that is the CIA. What's the difference? Mossad goes after dirt on people. They got dirt on everybody, every one of our politicians. All right, take Lindsey Graham, okay, who goes there and visits Netanyahu, okay. The Mossad answers to only one person, only one. They don't have, like we got the Senate and Congress here. All right, they don't have that. They answer directly to Bibi Netanyahu. He's totally in charge of that. Okay? And I said this before and I'm going to say it again. I believe that Donald Trump, when he ran for office and said he would release the Epstein file, I believe he really meant he would do that. But on the very first day that he was in office, Bibi Netanyahu was there at the White House. And he's there so many times, it's like he lives down the street. But look, I don't even know how many times, but I guarantee he's been there at least 7 or 8 times since Trump's been in office already. Okay? And that's when he gave Trump the information that he could not release the Epstein files. And he showed what he had on Trump and what he had on other big donors. Okay, folks, I keep telling you, everything's about money. So, Evis, yes. All right, Israel is manipulating Trump because they got dirt on him. Okay, they probably got pictures. That's how good the Mossad is. And Netanyahu gets those, and he knows just how to blackmail and get what he wants. We're fighting his war. He's in several wars. He's always in war, and that's what he wants. That's what he thrives on. That's my belief. Tell me, am I right? Am I wrong? I don't have all the answers like I told you in the beginning, folks. All right? I'm as perplexed about everything as you are. Trump saying blocking the case should lower gas prices. They're only going up, idiot. I'm so sick and tired, okay? I hope I'm alive and I'm able to vote in the next election. I don't know who's going to be running, okay? I hope I can last that long. But, folks, the rest of the world, they're not happy with the United States. And what Trump did to the Pope, saying those nasty things, he didn't have to say. He could have kept his mouth shut and put himself on a higher platform. All right? People would have thought more of him if he would have kept his mouth shut. But he can't keep his mouth shut. Don't know why. You think he would learn, okay? And is he really president or is he just another TV star? Like he had The Apprentice and now he's got the White House. And every moment you turn on your TV, they got Trump. And you can't believe these newscasters, folks. All right? I very seldom watch the news on TV anymore. And people ask me where I get my information. Okay? I get my information, I get a lot of it off of YouTube. But I'm very selective on who I watch and what I watch. I watched a lot of professional military people talk about what I just said could happen, okay, in this war. I'm sorry, William. Now let me get back on track. I'm sorry I lost you, my friend. Sometimes I get all over the board, okay, that I get so frustrated, all right, with what's going on. And it's just horrible. Is there anything I didn't go over? No, that's the only papers that I printed out. All right, I have to print my stuff out. All right, that I want to read to you. All right, William, tell me where I lost you, buddy. All right, and let me get back. Uh, Dirtland, Dirt. Well, vote for him again. He's going to try to run. He'll never make it. He's going to be lame duck president. In the next 2 years, he's not going to get anything done. Okay? He's handing the midterms over to the Democrats. I don't know what the Catholics are going to do. He had 48% approval rating with the Catholics. 48, that's quite high. His approval rating is below 39 right now, nationally. Okay? It's very low for a president. Come on, folks, give me some more likes over here. All right, for new people just come in, please subscribe. All right? Amazing administration. Big fee. Thank you, Mandy. For those of people who ask who I am, okay, I have a book out. It's called The Accidental Gangster, From Insurance Salesman to Hollywood Fixer. Learn what Hollywood Fixer is. Learn what I did for celebrities, producers, agents, studios. It's all there in my book, folks. It's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or wherever fine books are sold. Are sold. So that's about it for today, folks. We're up to 83. Think I can hang in there 100. This is terrible what's going on, folks, and what Trump is doing. Oh, he's hurting the UK. Isn't he, Gary? Hurting the UK. He's looking for help. I don't know if he's going to get it, but Iran's getting help. China and Russia are helping Iran, giving them equipment. We don't know how much equipment they really have. What Trump says and what's real are two different things. Trump doesn't know how much equipment he's got. He hasn't been there, okay? And then he sends Vance over, all right? J.D. Vance to make for the peace talks, okay? Do you know that during the peace talks, while Vance is talking, he called Trump, we don't have the specific number, but it's between 6 and 12 times. So he sent Vance there, and Vance had no authority to do or say anything. He had to get approval from Trump on everything. Okay? He's gone in there and tried to do his best to make it, not get Trump on the phone. So if he doesn't know what to do on his own, how the hell could J.D. Vance ever be president? Okay? That he's got there, he's in negotiation, and you got to call for permission to say this, permission to say that. You can't negotiate that way, folks. You go into a negotiation, you got to know what you're going to be doing, what you're going to say, what you want, what you're willing to give up. You got to know that if you're sitting at that negotiation table. Come on, can we get 12 more likes over here? All right, give me 12 more, folks. Get that to 100 or more. All right. Yes, Zazero. Hey, that's George, my buddy George. Yeah, buddy, I still smoke. Yeah, what the hell? I made it to 81. Gonna make a difference? I doubt it. If I quit, would it really make a difference? What about you? I'm sure you are too. So, anyways, folks, we're getting those likes up there. Okay, we're at 95. Five more, and I'll be happy. Oh, peaceful. Stacy, I would love peace. Okay, but we're not getting it. And this war is not going to end soon. Don't think it for one moment. This is going to be a very last long thing. And Trump, who said he was going to lower prices on day one in office, prices have only gone up. Oh, he wants to brag about how he brought down the price of eggs. Folks, the price of eggs is ancient history. Nobody cares about that no more. We care about all the other prices that we're paying in grocery stores. I went to buy a piece of ribeye yesterday, all right, at Whole Foods here in Beverly Hills, okay? $140. Oh, it was 2.5 pounds, all right? No, it wasn't 140, 120. Okay, 120. It was 2.5 pound ribeye. It was that thick. Yep. Thank you, folks, for those likes. You got me over 100. I appreciate that there. I really do. Uh, so, folks, you got Penn Bondi is gone. And you got, what were her name? Chelsea Gabbard? No, Christy, no. Whatever her name, she's gone. Okay, but Stephen Miller is still there. Stephen Miller is still there. What does Stephen Miller have on Trump? Does he have the same dirt that Bibi Netanyahu has on him? Does he? I should like to know. All right? Now, China is sharing intel, all right, on the United States with Iran. So don't think that Iran is just a small country that nobody cares about. It's a big country, folks. Over 95 million people. It's 4 times larger than Iraq. 4 times larger than Iraq. But the topography is totally different. It's a lot of mountains. They got the caves. They got tunnels. Folks, why is he putting our troops in harm's way? Why is he doing this? Now, I'm sure that my memory is correct. I remember him saying about the Ukraine war, which everybody forgets about. That's still going on. They're bombing each other. So far, we've given the Ukraine $88 billion. $88 billion. Has everybody subscribed here? You know, about 50% of the people that view this, all right, subscribe. I don't know why people are afraid to subscribe and hit that like button, okay? Going back to what I watched Military Advisor. There's a uh, overseas news station called CPNG, CP or CB, CGT. I watch. And this way you can hear professionals from other countries, all right, talking about this war and what's happening. All right. So, folks, that's it up to the moment that I have any information. Okay. If anything comes about, I'll be back. Otherwise, I'll be here uh, Wednesday for sure. And depends what happens the rest of the day. I might be back here tomorrow or later today. So everybody have a great day. Start your week off. Stay positive. Don't let Trump get you negative, although he does. Okay? All my love and respect to you all. All right? Take care. Bye bye.